the beautiful man, Pilski. And Kev, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Somebody going to be bringing you the live cast right now with Mitch. Or is it Bob, should I say, at the end of the day? But Renegades are going to be starting on the CT side, as it is Order's map pick.
Yeah.
2 sets of utility, and straight into A.
Well, 1.2 to 4.3. Those are pretty stacked odds. Some pretty decent fights back and forth here.
But that said, the bomb's been dropped in the open right now, and Dexter still dueling, still winning, and still fighting right now. 4 HP, and he's already just pretty much cleaned up this attack. And Gyro up, at the very least, some space to maneuver with, but he doesn't have the bomb just yet. It's hidden behind the scaffolding. He has a smoke and Molotov to work with, but no body armor.
Just trying to creep through secret side together, Renegades. Trying to be able to take the initiative here. Don't want to be caught off guard by one of the Ts just pushing aggressively and taking a line. And they will make the first contact with Gyro. The man doesn't have any armor. He's just going to cop a whole bunch of body shots. Not a whole lot he can do about that unless he hits some shots in quick succession. And Renegades off to a good start with that CT pistol.
Yep, just a full-on stack on the A site. Looks like the USB is getting nice and hot and heavy at scaffolding. But Order, do you think they should force up here or just kind of the full eco right now?
I don't know if I like the... I mean, I don't have a whole lot of experience playing Vertigo in an actual team because I haven't been active competitively while it's been in the pool. But I feel like the force buy is probably not that good on this map. Like, just look at the angles like ramp and stairs and stuff like that. And I feel like you're going up against M4. I don't know how well it would go for you. Maybe if you throw a bit of an execute onto that B site or you hit some nice timing up A, it could work out well for you. That's definitely not ideal, gooshing each other in the back of the head. Either way, Order is going to go for the single save into AK armor light utility. I don't mind that. I much more like the idea of someone just walking up ramp or walking upstairs with an AK and armor than I do trying to make that work with a Deagle. And that's kind of the way I think about it, but it's nowhere near that simple, obviously.
Well, Sicko's going to be the first point of contact. Still a lot of utility for the Renegades members to really use and drop at the moment. You can see they're going to be copping a bit of damage behind the HE grenade Bloom. And Sicko actually going to be dropped nice and early on. Sure, it's only the MP9 being lost. But any damage right now does force the CTs to rebuy. And just with Glocks, always a good little thing. As Order just really ticking the time down right now.
Yeah, trying to kind of play with Renegades' level of patience, really. Just try to bait them into some pushes. If they're feeling a little bit antsy, they can try to punish them, get a couple of extra guns, and they would have been able to otherwise. They've already found 1 kill. If they get another one, maybe even a bomb plant, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, got to get through Inns though, and Inns is just not in that mood really, just to relinquish any more weapons. That is a lot of cash actually built up with that, 2,400 on the MP9. So, which is going to be good for Inns' economy, and you can bet your horses that they are going to be carrying their MP9s into the next round, but here come the AKs.
Inns just straight drops that AWP over to Sicko. After farming up all that cash, puts it to good use, puts an AWP straight into Sicko's hands. I don't think Order's going to have the cash to be able to have an AWP themselves. They do have some pretty good util here, though. So we'll see how Order gets going on this T side. Putting a fair amount of damage on the Inns now, coming up this ramp area and going for some control. A couple of flashbangs. Dexter hiding behind the sandbag. Could be supported by some utility. There is some Molotovs here for Order, but they're not throwing them, Kev.
Well, Dexter still has a smoke grenade to work with as well. That's a nice little HE nade on the timing as well. Molotov just going to be peering around. Don't really have secret control. Only 2 players here on the A site. Really just comes down to timing right now.
There's
between
4
all of
mollies.
them.
4 mollies, no one's cleared sandbag. Oh, this could be a disaster here.
It all comes down to the timing end of the day, doesn't it? I think there it is. Dexter's going to peek out, and Alistair can't get the trade in time. Smoke grenade's going to buy a lot of time, and the T is so difficult to flush out with no HE grenades. You're going to have to invest another Molotov. Dexter is just dropping all his utility right now, and he's just waiting for the flashbang. But there's no flashbangs from his teammates. It is going to be another molly that's going to be deployed in this location eventually.
I think he's doing the best thing possible in this situation. He's already got the 1 frag. Now he's just buying as much time as he can. He almost gets away with another. A lot of damage onto Alistair. Seeing some rotations out for Renegades. They've left that B bomb site open. Just keeping tabs on mid. Hat's going to play retake on middle as well as B and just shift walk around while the rest of Renegades very much grouped up on that A bomb site.
And here's the thing, 2 smoke grenades still for Order to work with in the execute. They have to commit to the A site now, 30 seconds left.
That's, I think, what they're going to do, just that basic execute. Sicko hasn't got any utility, but if he's given a little bit of an angle, could make this a 4-on-3 for that retake. Which, there's no utility here for the retake.
Misses the first shot though, and it does depend on what utility is going to be dropped. Unfortunately, absolutely nothing at all. If this wallbang connects, could be absolutely deadly, but he can't find the lineup onto Gyro, who will be able to get the package safely down. So back down to the 4-on-4 retake. As you were saying, the CT is no utility to use at the current point in time. Gyro still sitting hidden on site for now. 2 low HPTs, but all it comes down is a couple of good shots. In's going to be leading the charge forward, but the trade's going to come thick and fast. 2 for 2, but Hats might be caught off timing from the player in C group. Alistair playing the sandbags angle, but that is a disgusting shot. And Estillo, Hats on some nice form at the moment, has a kid as well. Sure, they drop all the weapons, but they still get the round.
That's just what really, really sharp from Hats. Instantly connects that first headshot and follows it up. So very nice work with the Famis there. Cleaning up a bunch of quite low players and securing that round for Renegades, which, you know, they did invest into the AWP, but holding on to a lot of Famises and MP9s. And I think they did retain that AWP at the end there, so that's pretty fantastic for Renegades, all things considered. Order, very close round, but they get that bomb plant down as well as a handful of kills, which gives them enough to be able to go for a pretty decent buy here. Now going to try and contest stairs, I think. Boost over the top of this ramp smoke as well.
Dexter has been spotted out nice and early on, so that's good. Taking out one of the players on the A site. That is going to surely force a rotation eventually, coming out from the CTs, but no one's really coming across just yet. And they're eventually going to have a bit of a choice. Estillo has dropped a flashbang, so Renegades can't even progress towards that B stairs area.
Here's what we always see from Hats and Ins, though, when Renegades is in a man disadvantage. They pushed all the way downstairs, gotten a lot of control over there. It's up to one of these Order players to be able to keep tabs on that. I think Ricky's over there holding that area of the map. Order now starting to progress up secret. Ricky punishes the push, puts them even further ahead. So Order just staying in these strong positions, well aware that the aggression is likely to come out when Renegades is playing from a disadvantage, and they punish that in the perfect position to secure themselves this round and potentially put Renegades' economy in a bit of a rough position.
Still need to get rid of Sicko as well as Malta on this A site, though. It looks like they are going to be heading over into a bit more of a split. And Sicko looking now to just probe a little bit maybe towards scaffolding. Patience the game right now between both sides. Going to be a flashbang towards mid, but Valence is going to be spotted out. So Renegade's able to at least bring one back. Secret in a bit of danger. And Sicko actually pushing forward. He's going to equalize, but good trades coming out from Order to force it back down to a 3-on-2. Gyra, though, walking through very, very close. HE grenade's going to be dropped, and Gyra in a close position.
Flash from Ustillo. Come in. No, they're just going to play the crossfire off Gyra. He's doing good work from that position. Swing from Ustillo secures it. That's Renegades. Money broke. Double eco for Sicko. Rough state of affairs for Renegades to cop after a very, very close gun round in the first. And Order's done a good job of creating a massive opportunity for themselves after that first gun round. Obviously not many players surviving for Renegades there, so Order buying up again, resetting that money, and now all they need to do is just deal with this force buy, and they should be able to even up that scoreline.
Bit of a change in tempo, though, from Order, as they are looking to maybe gear up for more of a B-side hit, dedicating more than just one person this time around. Nice little H&A just to soften off the mid players.
Order's not really giving them much to work with. They're very much playing in quite passive positions, playing anti-eco sort of setup, or anti-force in this case. Waiting for aggression. As the clock starts to tick down, they're starting to progress forward with a bit of utility. Don't lose a player heading up ramp here, so that's pretty nice for them. And Renegades, I'd imagine, are going to have to make some kind of a move. You see the rotation starting to be pulled over towards this A side of the map. Previously, they were very much focused towards middle and B.
No utility left for Renegades to work with. Boost is going to come out, but ooh, Estillo should spot it this in time. A lot of damage being done. That's what you want to be seeing is Alistair. That's a nice little two-piece for him. That's just going to crack open the A side.
Nade and wallbang. Very nicely done. Gyra gets rid of Sicko as well. Only 2 players left here with the Deagles and armor. Likely probably going to be saving them at this point. Try to do damage in the next, and Order well and truly back into this half. A close first gun round. Economically resetting their opponents, and now a very clean anti-force. And if they're able to have just as clean of an anti-eco, they're going to be heading into that, what round is it? Bad math. Don't do math on stream. Round number 7 with a very, very strong economy before Renegades can put together another good bite.
I feel like Renegades obviously giving a lot of respect over at this A side, only running 2 people right now and very passive. I'm wondering if Renegades will want to change it up eventually, maybe get Sicko posted on more of an aggressive angle. Because Renegades aren't really challenging over here at the A ramp side just yet.
They definitely do that quite often. You know, they do go for that challenge and the aggression. You get Dexter pushed down into that scaffolding as well as Sicko down there as well. And usually if they win that man advantage, they stay in formation. If they lose that man advantage, a lot of the time, Ins and Hats, they push stairs or they push middle in response to being at that man disadvantage, and they try to make something happen. That very much seems to be the Renegades strat on that CT side.
Still Deagle's out in play, though, from Renegades and some of their members. Obviously, lost bonus is starting to build up a little bit here for Renegades, so they're happy with some of their members with a bit more cash to upgrade the firepower.
I think the answer to this ramp control really is going to be in that dynamic that Dexter and Sicko have working with each other, which is, you know, a lot of the time they will flash for each other or support each other when they go for a little bit more of an aggressive play. So it's up to them to try to, you know, just with a bit of a mid-round call or some good utility, try to find a bit of a nice timing to get themselves into an advantageous situation.
Into CT, some good utility use coming out from all the members of Order just to secure these positions, but from mid, they haven't pushed or probed any further just yet. Waiting for a counter response right now. You can see the boost just peering from mid over into jump up, but the flashbang is going to come forward just to allow Malta just to clear out the area. Still a lot of time for the T's to work with, though. And I love this look from Order. They're not rushing anything. They're playing slow. They're clearing it out appropriately.
B-side's open for the time being. Finally, the push up on towards this jump up area. Nins is making some work happen.
No.
This is always how these rounds start to fall apart. Now Order got to sort of scramble into this 3-on-5 and find a bit of an answer. They're really running the clock down, Kev. Going to group up back towards stairs. Some rotations come in for Renegades as they start to pick up some of those AKs.
And they're grouping up to the correct side as well. I think Malta has pushed up nice and aggressively over on that A side of things, so the smoke's going to stop the push for a little bit further. Finally, they shut down the killing spree of Ins as Valiance is also looking to pick up a few more kills as well. AK's been retrieved. Bomb plant is going to go down. It's really just down to the angles and Hats is going to be covering, but this is a good recovery from Order for now. Not dropping any more weapons from here. Only Malta with the upgraded pistol. And he has actually found the pick on the other side. So a lot of damage has been incurred so far.
Oh,
he almost... he nearly gets that, but I feel like even if he did manage to swing around, he had to land 2 shots at that distance. So you could say a bit risky for Order, and they do drop a lot of weapons, so their economy isn't as great of a stead as it could be.
Yeah. Look, saving those 2 Deagles over causes a lot of damage. Taking 4 guns away from Order is a massive, massive difference for them heading into round number 7. Basically deprives them of an extra gun round that they would have had access to. So that's fantastic work for 2 pairs of Deagle and armor that have got saved over. Now Sicko's back on the ult, but will only be a glass cannon. Ricky's found that opener very, very early on. That's Order into a 5-on-4 and almost picking off Hats as well. They're really off to a roaring start in this gun round. Aggression towards middle and B.
Yep, Dexter going to be looking to flash himself out at the moment. That's a nice little pop flash. He's going to at least swindle 2 away, and Alistair can't get the trade. He will be able to pick off Sicko, though, and he'll pop flash himself out as well, but over-peers the angle, and the bomb is now lost at mid. So after Order to all that good work, the package has been lost, and Ricky and Valiance need to figure out a way to get back into this round.
They got 1 pick, and they got a hell of a lot of damage on Hats, so I guess they just felt like it was going to be good for them to speed things up there, but ends up being an absolute mess in the mid-round. Now they've found themselves at a disadvantageous situation, starting to slow things down. Hats has been given the ult because he's on 1 HP. And you do see Dexter over there towards middle. We'll find the timing onto Ricky. Always in the right position with this crosshair pointed in the right direction, this man. Hats gets it done. Nicely done for Renegades. Crisis averted, really. That round was going terribly for them.
And that's just the whole thing, is that the individual just steps up for Renegade. This time it's Dexter in the mid-round. Nice little flash coming out from mid. And then Dexter just pushes forward, gets that full control of the bomb. That is a ridiculous shot coming out from Alistair through the edge of the box. But unfortunately, couldn't really continue it up. So it is actually attack timeout coming out from Order. The money isn't too great across the board. I do remember still actually had a bit of a bank, and I think Valiance also did as well.
I think this is where you take the single save. 3 alive for Renegades in that last round. Yes, you are, still dealing with a CT economy that hasn't got into full force yet. But if you just see Order, they bar up a couple of deagles, try to get a couple of kills, they can still keep that window of economic reset open for themselves. As for Renegades, I mean, like you said, I feel like that round was very much just an individual stepping up. Ricky often does very, very good work over towards those stairs at creating openings and putting pressure on, and that's a good example of it, but unfortunately it doesn't end up in a round. Either way, Order didn't see their economy before, but it looks totally fine. They're going to be fully buying up into this round. Ricky has to go down to a deagle though, but good utility distribution across the board. Both teams pretty broke here, Kev, so it's going to be an important round.
Looks like a fast A-side take. Smoke straight into Secret, and that's a great punishment onto Dexter as well. The leg did go down to Alistair, but Order, they can definitely now slow the breaks down. I think Alistair definitely got the bloodlust there a little bit. Not in the position to be traded out, and Sika's going to be taking that any day of the week. Absolutely love Vertigo sometimes.
Yeah. This is the push. This is what I'm talking about. Every mid-round, Renegades is just aggression towards stairs or middle. And you can see Ricky's well aware of it. He's the man who has to keep tabs on this kind of a thing. So it's always going to be this dynamic between Ricky or whoever for Order holds that middle position and Ins and Tats and when and where they choose to aggress. For the time being, though, Renegades going to leave Ins over in that part of the map towards the late round. Hats is still minding mid. Bit of a retake setup. So really it falls down to Sicko, how much work he can get done, how many shots he can get off, and to sort of weaken this push for Order before it comes onto the A site. Couple of progressive Molotovs. The counter flash from Malta just to keep Order on their toes.
But they only got a single smoke on Order at the moment, so they're going to have to clear out this position. It's so hard to actually fight scaffolding from this angle if the flashbang doesn't come forward. That's good stuff from Gyra. They are going to be slowly progressing up, in a position to trade each other out as well. 3 members over here, but they need to find the timing. Gonna let the Deagle go first, but Sicko has the flick as well. Valiant through the flashbang. He's actually been blinded by a silo. Malta just playing that retake position has been mollied off. So 3-on-2, single flashbang for the T's to work with, but just completely nullified from that flank push coming out from Ins.
They're aware of it, but if you don't catch the timing of it correctly, he's going to be in a very, very strong position. And a doable round for Order once again falls apart in the mid-round.
Vertigo is actually the least played map of 2020. That's actually an interesting little statistic. I thought Overpass would have not been. So
I would like to see the percentage. No, maybe. I'd like to see the percentage of how much it's been played compared to the other maps month to month. Because I bet you from the start of the year when people weren't adapting it to now, it's being played probably a lot more heavily. No stats to back that up, just a feeling, but I reckon that's probably accurate. Well,
we can always ask the statsmen as well as the text guys to be doing this. And meanwhile, as we're talking about text, I mean, that is actually Dexter on the other side. That's actually just mopping up a couple of pesky Ts over on the A side. And so this round has been very clean from Renegades and the Santa Eco so far. Aggression coming out as they do read correctly Order's economy.
Yeah, look, not a lot of damage here for Order. That's going to allow Renegades to build up a little bit of money. So I kept talking about that window of economic reset. It's one of the best ways you can string rounds together on the T side. It couldn't be less open at this point. Renegades, plenty of cash in the bank. They're going to be buying up for the foreseeable future. Now the game really changes for Order because now it's sort of a case of, oh, well, if we want to reset them, we have to win consecutive gun rounds in a row. So that's where you have to iron out some of that inconsistencies in the mid-round. Maybe you have to get a couple of good reads off after seeing how these first few rounds have played out. And we'll see if they can do it. Into round number 10 now, so opportunity starting to be a little bit limited here for Order, but another great start for them. Can they convert in the mid-round, though?
Ricky has been playing so phenomenally well. Sure, he's only got 4 kills, but every single time it feels like he definitely is cracking open this B side of things. And Hats just holding on to his utility for now. That weapon's actually irretrievable, so a nice little shot. He's going to try and bring the weapon back, but the HE doesn't find its mark.
So Hats can't push on this side of the map this time around. Where's the aggression going to come in for Renegades? It's looking like Dexter and Sicko are going to be the ones to actually make something happen here. Dexter going on a bit of an off angle towards scaffolding. Sicko on a bit of a deeper line. Malta's just going to play retake on middle. Hat's going to rely on that utility. So it's really up to these two to make the good work happen, and Order starting to head in that direction.
I don't know if this flashbang that Gyro throws, it bounces off, but I don't know if it gets this player at scaffolding. That's the real question, and Dexter is playing anti-flash at the moment. So there comes a flashbang. Sicko's going to dodge that, and he's going to take a single shot. Now Dexter's playing the angle right now. Alistair, that is brave, clearing out that dry. And the longer that Dexter sits here, it just means that they're going to be very comfortable rotating these members over to B. There's a flash coming out. Dexter's pushed forward and cleared out A. They know it's B right now.
Molotov to buy some time. Hat's timing his utility nicely. He's probably just going to drop the smoke on top of the stairs and play in front of it, buying time for that rotation to come in from Malta, who's got that counter flash. Here comes the exit from Order.
There's the flashbang coming forward. He has spotted out Alistair for now. And there's a flank coming in from Dexter as well. And there it is. It's going to be the Hats and Dexter show closing things out. So once again, Order, they get the first pick, but they just can't capitalize on it at the moment.
That's just the Renegades special, man. Just too many players who make plays in the mid-round and know from this position, here's where we need to push. Oh, I need to try and make something happen towards this part of the map. That time, Ricky gets the better of Inns. Hats only has an MP9. He can't be the player to push, and that's usually in the mid-round where Renegades make something happen, is Inns and Hats towards stairs or towards middle. But that time, they can't do it, and Dexter takes it on himself in combination with Sicko. And that's the problem against Renegades, man. Just too many different players who can punish you in the mid-round and make you uncomfortable. And Order, even though they've set up in this default formation, even though they're playing quite passively, they're holding a lot of angles, Renegades are still finding timings up against this passive default style of pushing and being successful with it and getting these key flanks off. And that's got to be so frustrating to play against, because it feels like 50 seconds, a minute, you're waiting for some of these flanks. And you go, okay, there's probably no one on the flank. 45 seconds to go, someone pushes.
But that's the whole thing. The way that Renegades are set up at the moment, it's just perfect for punishing this as well. So the question is right now, because Order have been playing so slow and methodically, they haven't done a rush. They haven't done a fast execute 20 to 30 seconds off. They haven't tried to catch Renegades off guard. And I think that's the tell at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, and I feel
there's nothing to really change up the defense.
Yeah, it's quite hard to, like, it's not a strategy adjustment, really, when you're losing things in the mid-round. It's really just a case of, okay, we need to tighten up the fundamentals. We need to make sure we're getting these trades. We need to make sure we have better utility coverage. The flashbang, I mean, you even saw it before it was happening. One flashbang that's not clearing that angle was just not good enough to be able to retake that ramp control. And the way that they did it as well was so timid. You know, so hesitant. It's like one flash, one guy peeks out on the angle, very easy shot for Sicko, he connects that, and then the round is already falling apart, and it's not like they pick up the pace after that happens. One person dies for what feels like not a whole lot for
Oh, it's Sicko, we better run.
There's another very clean anti-eco for Renegades. Now they're into round number 12. They got tons of cash in the bank, and this is where I would really expect Renegades to be that team that's just like, all right, we've got tons of cash in the bank. There's no fear of economic reset. Let's get in there with a little bit of aggression and throw our opponents off guard.
Well, it starts here, doesn't it? So here's a bit more of aggression out towards Secret. HE, Nate, does a bit of good damage. Dexter's going to be flashed forward, but he still is able to turn from it just in time. Some nice utility coming out, though, but Renegades definitely down a number nice and early on in order to have control of this A-ramp area. Now, where are they going to convert from here? Finally, Alistair's got the AWP back in his hands. Malta's going to look to push forward with the A4. And it's a bit of a change in terms of the setup on B side. Renegades are actually sitting more members at mid. So Hat's tucked away in the corner playing anti-flash and Sicko peering over with the AWP. But eventually they're going to have to break that formation.
Yeah, I think Renegades, a bit of a different look this time. They've kind of gone for the approach that's like, we're just going to play retake on this A-bomb site. We aggressed here last time, and we'll try to get some more flanks off. Much more of a focus towards middle. Sicko now trending back towards that A side of the map. He's going to position himself over towards scaffolding. Order really taking their time. Really trying to clear out some of these angles. I don't know if that Molotov is misthrown there, but a few people taking a bit of burning damage. Definitely not ideal. Molotov comes in towards Secret. Order, they're really running the clock down here, and you're starting to see some rotations come in. Actually, it's going to be aggression from Malta. Sicko ready with the flashbang.
There's a flashbang. It comes forward, but you can see Order have actually backed out. So it is actually going to be Order now flushing through Secret. Able to get rid of all the pesky CTs on the site, but now Hats on the flank. They have to watch out for that, and Inns as well. definitely could be lethal if they're able to find the picks that they need, but Alistair is going to be peering from Overwatch. And I think for Hats, he's going to just back away. Valiant's just trying to find this pick at the moment, trying to find the timing. It's going to work to a charm. So Order, this time, able to get the pick on A. They get the pick on Dexter and now find success just on the back of speeding up, then grouping up, and then executing together.
Much better 5-on-4. Much, much better. There still was opportunities there for Renegades. If that flash timing had worked out a little better, then maybe they're able to get themselves back into that round, but that's much better navigated for Order. If they can win this gun round and the next, they might actually be able to put Renegades in a weird position economically heading into round number 15 and give themselves a bit of an easier shot. But they haven't been too consistent in these gun rounds, so no guarantees. Let's see how they go. Again, pretty similar sort of approach from Order, taking their time. Ricky, again, so good towards these stairs. Not easy to be able to outduel ins.
But here's the problem. Every single time this has happened, Order have actually gone on to lose the round. So, great nade from Sicko, by the way.
The shot was a little better than the nade, but that's what really counts, getting him back into that 4-on-4. And I don't think Renegades are really going to rest on their laurels in this 4-on-4. See the boost actually over here towards Secret side, or is that behind the metal wall?
I think it is towards Secret side, actually.
Yeah.
So
peering into Secret there. Now Sicko repositioning towards middle with Hats. Yeah, this is a bit of a different off angle. I'd say this gets Dexter a freebie, I would imagine.
Surely you don't check this, unless you molly it.
Yeah. They would probably be more ready for the other boosts. Oh, Valiants. Be careful, mate. Okay, they can hear the footsteps, though, Renegades. They're coming back now, but there's a smoke on Secret side. They're just going to do this. They're just going to sit inside of it. I hate this. I hate that this is how the game works.
Oh, but Dexter's going to...
That's
You're not going to outbrain Dexter. Come on, let's be real. I already said, this man. You wish you were him.
All right, well...
You can't be him, though.
20 seconds on the clock, Kev.
Yep. And you see how to flush out Dexter, who's just playing close right now. It's all really down to Alistair. And he also... good work from Alistair to clean that close angle. And Alistair's really picking up the pace right now. He's really changed this round. We were expecting that. And Sicko just can't land that critical shot to just get rid of the bomb planter. It's going to slowly crawl forward, though. Alistair flashing, trying to get away. But Sicko's going to capitalize on that. But he doesn't know where Estilo is. So back down to the one-on-one. Individual brilliance from both sides right now. But who's going to come out on top is going to be the real question.
Go things at Secret side. Estilo gets able to edge out onto that bomb and check that it's not a plant. Counter flash as well.
It's all coming down to that no-scope. Not going to work out, and Estilo's going to close up that good work that Alistair did.
Yep. That was Alistair really in the mid-round just picking up that rifle. Absolutely massive play individually. And that puts Renegade's economy in a bit of a difficult position for some of their players heading into that 15th round. If Order wins this one, they're going to make a much better run of this half. Could even end up with that 7 rounds. It's a fantastic adjustment, starting to make amends for some of their mid-round issues, I would say. The 5-on-4 converted. That round didn't really have any business winning. They did a Renegade special straight back to them. Just one individual player making a massive play, getting a couple of quick kills in a clutch situation. And Alistair's really pulled them out of a bad situation there.
So a tactical pause actually coming out from Renegades this time around. This is a much better, I guess, performance, and this is the order that needs to turn up. So obviously we've seen some good individual performances now coming out from some of the members from Order. I think this is kind of the way the story goes, right? Is that everyone's not really hard carrying the game at the moment, but similarly there's no one that's actually just bottoming and not getting any frags at all.
This is a critical round for Order to make it a pretty fantastic half. 7 rounds on the T side is what they could be aiming for. As you see a couple of these Renegades players, yes, they've got some loss bonus, but no cash in the bank means that they'll be sitting around that 3K mark. Order changing things up, going for a bit more of an control towards middle here. Smoke on towards that jump up. Smoke onto this right side as well. Molotov onto the entrance there. Doesn't really look like Order's ready to split anything. I think they're really just looking for a pick here. And this is exactly what Renegades did last time. Dexter, remember, underarmed that flash and tried to go for the pick. And Alistair was just ready for it.
But Malta's looking to get a bit aggressive right now if he's able to pick off his Stillo. But Stillo's watching the angle, but Malta flicks over to Alistair instead. Nearly gets the kill, but they are going to back away. And now with a 5-on-3 advantage, surely they can't drop this right now as they're going to group back towards the A site. But Sicko's got so much utility still to use, and they do need to use a couple of flashbangs. You can't just walk into these angles, surely.
I think Order are doing a much better job once again in the mid-round. 30 seconds on the clock. I'm pretty sure that Sicko can't shoot 5 people. Maybe 2 or 3.
He's going to see the smokes being used. Going to drop an HE at the right time as well. That's going to do a chunk of damage right now. That is a lot of damage, and Dexter is going to be sprayed, but he's still alive. And the flashbang from Sicko bails him out. And how is Dexter still alive right now? And Inz is going to come. You say he can't kill 5 people, but I think he's done it right now. Alistair trying to bail out of a terrible situation. He's just going to take the AWP forward. And once again, Renegades just, I don't know how, but they managed to get out of that situation.
Order's cooked it. That's all there is to it. They're like, it's good that they're going together and they have the right idea and they're using the right utility, but they're taking too long. How long did they have that man advantage, Kev? You know? They had plenty of time, but they're just taking too long to regroup and get their stuff together and not giving themselves enough seconds on the clock to actually be able to execute their play. So in theory, it's good, but in the context, it's really not the right play for them, unfortunately. This ends up where Renegades can get a much better buy than if they had lost that previous. So it's a gun-on-gun round here. Round number 15. I think Order would very much prefer to be going down 9-6 than 10-5. Bit more control and emphasis towards the stairs here. Ricky with a bit of assistance. Flash out from Justillo to put him on towards that off angle. Stairs found the pick onto Dexter. So a man advantage again for Order, but then they just give it straight back.
Yep, and Hats just swindles away back in the perfect position. No one from Order in the right place really to get the trade or anything else from there. I feel like this is where Alistair's actually looking for the pick at the moment. You can see he's actually playing very aggressively right now, isolated by himself, really looking to make the opening. Jara's going to float back and help out, but with barely any utility to work with.
I'm looking at Inz and Hats' utility and the fact that once again Order's running down the clock. Smoke's starting to be lined up. You can already see Hats just drops the Molotov instantly onto the stairs. He's probably going to drop a smoke directly on top of that. And then now you start to see these HE actually. There's a smoke on top of the stairs and you've still got a molly on top of Inz. You could drop that as well.
And Inz has just pushed, Hats has pushed so far forward that this allows so much space and so much time right now. Hats is going to spot this. He's going to call for the utility. He's tucked him into a corner and he's going to get the spray down. Alistair, he's going to pull out the sidearm, but that is going to be a 10-5 half. Renegades just looking too good towards the end there. As Order just not enough in the tank on their attacking side.
City lights are looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Doesn't feel right to call you mine. I know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why. Cause nobody else is showing any empathy. Rudely awake and quiet months alone. I don't wanna wake up messed up, 'cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, 'cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. I'm so sorry that I didn't go to therapy sooner. Thinking everybody, even you's an enemy. Brutally awake and quite undertaken, did not do nothing wrong. Life isn't easy, why did you leave me here to get drunk alone? And I don't wanna wake up messed up, 'cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, 'cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. If I am so wrong and so gone miserable, won't you stick around just for some be visible? But you don't, no you don't, can't leave me to suffer. Erase all the doubt, pouring Jack in my mouth, and a love with enough for the pain and the drugs to be present for now.
Back into the half, Renegades taking a pretty solid lead for now, but Order definitely in a position to strike back, especially if the individuals are able to carry on some of the form that they've had. We saw Ricky able to get so many good entries before, but Renegades, what can they do on the attacking side is a real question.
Initial contact towards ramp there. Doesn't go the way of anyone, just a little bit of damage. Do have the odds very much favouring Renegades at this time, but after that pick, not sure if that's going to be as accurate. Valiant's putting his team into a very good position with that man advantage. You're getting a lot of control over there towards stairs. Now Renegades trying to regroup, trying to retake this part of the map, make sure there's no CTs with too much control and emphasis, too much information over here. And it does look like Renegades very much looking to try to take this B site with all four of their players. Yustilo close on the rotate, is going to scramble into position. Ricky joins up over here as well.
It's all down to Valiant just to hold on. He's able to get the pick just before the flashbang blooms. And the pistols now, Valiant's definitely doing some great work to lock down the pistol round for Order. It's all down to Dexter, P250 in hand. They are going to be challenging him en masse. And I don't know if this is the best idea, because Dexter definitely getting all these picks finally. It is going to be Alistair that cleans up. Just too many bodies flung in his direction.
It sends a bit of a statement, though, that he still connects two of those headshots when they're running in on it. That's where you start to get a little bit nervous. Either way, though, that pistol round very much won by Valiant. The man goes for this push here in combination with his teammate, finding that initial pick, which forces Renegades back towards this side of the map, and he still gets two on the way in. So very, very nicely done. Even create space for Yustilo to be able to catch that player swinging white to trade him out. So great pistol there from Order. And of course, straight into a pause.
This one's a tech pause, though. No strategies to talk about here, unless if they're figuring out whether or not they want to be forcing up a couple of Deagles. Not much to talk about in this half so far, but I mean, how would you rate Order's performance so far in this? Do you reckon it's pretty solid from Order and pretty solid from Renegades, or kind of just Renegades just a little bit better still?
I think better from Renegades for sure. They've definitely been the better team here today. Order a little inconsistent. It's crazy how many rounds that Order had an opening kill or a distinctive advantage, and they weren't winning the majority of them. So many 5-on-4s for Order on that T side, where Ricky was finding an opener or someone else was finding an opener, and they weren't converting as many as you'd like to see, Kev. That's my big issue. So already, you know, you can't really change that. They're off on the good foot on this CT side, getting that pistol round. Let's see them start to turn around, because really, if I was to boil it down to, you know, a two-sentence summary, I think Order's just making more mistakes than Renegades at the moment, and they really need to start minimizing them.
Starts with this one, doesn't it? Contain Renegades, depending on what they do. If they decide to just stay with the Glock train, well, we've seen Renegades before with Tech 9s and a bunch of smokes and flashbangs actually utilize that to great effect. And it is going to be the force buy coming out from Renegades. So this is definitely going to be a very influential round between both sides. If Order are able to hold on and kind of make a statement that Renegades do need to try a little bit harder. That said, Renegades, we've seen their executes work so many times before. And that's the scary part with these pistols. A couple of Tech 9s, a couple of Deagles. Absolutely lethal as they're looking to angle the way over at mid right now.
Just taking their time. Yeah, all right. Big focus towards middle. Taking some duels with those Deagles and Tech 9s up against a handful of MP9s and two Famises. I know how you feel about the Famis, Kev. Not great.
Oh, I think it's just a question of what's a worse weapon, the FAMAS or the Galil. And there's no real answer. There's no correct answer. You're just going to get punished for it as Gyro up. Looking to just shoulder pick, spots a Deagle being fired. So they now know that Renegade's definitely on the force buy.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily, but probably, yes.
Definitely know Renegades have Deagles, and they're going to play cautiously from there.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Not a whole lot of utility is the thing for Order. Renegade's very much running down the clock. All that utility has been kind of sucked dry at this point. 4 smokes, handful of flashes and a molly. That's the last smoke for Order going towards the key position where Renegades is heading. Smoke exchange back to create room for Renegades to start to move up. Couple of flashes out for Dexter at least. Just the single, but counter flashes from Order as well.
Yeah, and now they have to push through. The smoke time is ticking away. And I feel like there's been enough good work from Alistair, who's just been doing so much damage with the MP9. Finally, the pistols do come forward. Inns are still alive, so is Sicko. And it looks like Order are actually going to back off for now. HE Grenade's not going to catch Sicko just yet, thrown a little bit too deep. So a chance right now for them to get the bomb plant down. It does have to be Inns. Pressure on the flank as well. Bomb plant's going to go down. Sicko peering on top, but Ricky's got that cover, but he's going to get a team kill. Surely Inns knows there's a flank as well. He's going to spot the flank. Can't land the shot. It is going to be Jara that eventually cleans up. That's a bit unfortunate. You could have seen that ball down, but Inns gets a kill. Is able to slide away through the smoke. Renegades do get that bomb plant. A lot of eco damage being incurred, but Order do take the round still. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, but if you're Renegades, 2 players surviving, bomb plant, you got 3.8, 3.2, 3.7. You probably just buy Galil armor, AK armor, and try and reset that money. Only 2 players surviving for Order. But they will take the less aggressive sort of path. Instead, they will go for the Deagles, try and ship that economy down a little bit, and go for a much more convincing buy in the next. Really prioritizing that utility. A lot of teams will take that more aggressive approach, especially in this region in Asia, where they don't prioritize the utility. Instead, they try to just buy up those rifles and armor, couple of flashes, keep the strat really simple, and try to hit some nice shots and hard reset that economy. Renegade's a little bit more nuanced of an approach. Probably indicates that they're feeling more confident about their gun rounds than trying to make any gimmicks happen. So they will just Deagle armor, try and chip some damage away, take a couple of guns off Order, and try to make it work in their gun rounds.
That's not how you want to be starting, though. It ends with the Deagle just looking to probe forward once again. Gets that pick on Astillo. It's going to force this push coming out from Alistair, but he does really well to pick off Hats on that timing. It's going to make Renegade's job a little bit more difficult to take in this round, trying to flush out Alistair close range with the MP9.
See if they're aware of this position. He's playing a bit of an off angle towards the crate here.
Oh, no.
Up against the armor, the MP9 really doesn't do very much damage. Lost that pick now. Closest player is Valiant's here. You can see Gyro trying to scramble into rotation at least. Valiant pushes forward to try to create a little bit more space, a little bit more angles for Order to work with as Renegades start to edge up ramp here.
But Ricky can utilize that distance as well, and I feel like Renegades might have taken a little bit too much time to explode onto the site. Now the opportunity may be lost for now. 25 seconds left. They are grouping up, but I don't know if you can get to the B site on time like this. You're going to eventually have to make noise, and Ricky's going to be in the perfect position. No error or no margins for error, should I say. Ricky's going to drop the flashbang. He might just decide to play retake right now, try to get these picks on the cross. The flashbang high pushes him off the angle, and it looks like he can't get the spray down. Bomb will go down. He has to concede this.
That's a great flash, just to be able to get Renegades into that
And
site.
Gyro's been tagged so low right now, 1 HP. It's about to fall away. Malta's going nice and close to the aircon right now. In the rotation, the flank is going to be coming out from Valiance at this stage, but he eventually has to get there. He hasn't been able to take down Inns, and Malta at close range. Inns as well, all down to Malta and Valiance on this one-on-one. No kit for Valiance. No, he does have a kit, but no utility. He's going to be charging forward for now, and he takes the deal, but he just can't land it, and that's why I say the FAMAS is just a garbage gun.
Deagles and Armor, man. They didn't even invest into that round. Now they're miles ahead in terms of the economy game. Order, some of them on the double eco. Oh, so crisp. Mwah, beautiful. What do you even do against that, man? Just the Deagles and the light armor for Renegades. That's all they need. Forced buy-in from Order. If they lose this round, they are in a very deep rut that it will take a very long time to climb back out of, Kev. And I don't say that the buy that they have looks convincing at all, mate.
Alistair's looking to get aggressive nice and early on with the MP9, so they're doing the right thing here to just get a bit of territory with the back of their early utility. But the question is now, can Renegades pick off these aggressive positions? There's Ricky, traded out very nice and promptly. Gyra going to be tucked away with a 5-7, has to go absolutely huge here, and at least able to get one for now. Does a lot of damage to Sicko as well. That might put a dent and a spanner in the works for Renegades, as they don't have any control of the rest of the map. And you can see Alistair already fast on the flank as well. Can get rewarded for his patience at this stage. All of Order pouncing as Ustillo is going to return the favor with the Deagle and Hats. He's going, where has it gone wrong as Ustillo just mops it up on the B site. Great Deagle work as Renegades, they're now forced back into the situation of hang on a moment. We're expecting that round to go our way.
Disgusting, an actual pixel angle from Ustillo. Just the crosshair placement on this man. Doesn't even need to make any adjustment whatsoever. That is the hallmark of a fantastic player. Renegades, what do they do now? Money's in a very weird situation. I think Malta had around 5.7. Some of the other players sitting around 2.4 or 3.5. So money is very not evenly distributed across Renegades. So they have a couple of options, really. They can take a pretty passive approach with just the Deagles, try to chip some damage away. They can go for a real janky force buy with like maybe Mac 10s or Deagle armor utility and an AWP for Sicko or something like that. Or they can just maybe hero AK. Something like that would work pretty well. Hero AK on Inns. I really like this approach. Couple upgraded pistols as well. This is a pretty good way of, one, evening up the money, but not only that, also trying to get some damage done to that CT economy before you head into the full buy next.
They're not doing too much damage to their own economy as well, so I definitely do like this right now. There's actually just going to be a spread and pick coming out from Renegades as well. Great HE nade though, it's going to soften up Inns nice and early on as Gyro drops that utility, falls out.
I really like how this hero AK has started to increase in popularity more and more in the last year or two. See if Inns can put it to some good use. Again, they're really isolating Gyro on this boost every time they're on a low buy. Very much trying to bully middle pretty consistently as Renegades.
But I feel like Renegades, the key for them winning a Vertigo at the moment is actually trying to deflect the aggression from Alistair at this stage. The fact that Alistair is able to get aggressive into A ramp and kind of contain it right now, I think is the key for Order to take the CT half and for Renegades to actually figure out the key to victory as well. You can see once again, he has pushed down quite nice and early on. He's able to go on the flank if he chooses to do so.
Inns definitely the key player here with that AK. No info. They're so close to Ricky. He's got absolutely no idea yet. Finally spots a player.
It's going to get dinked out as well. Finally, the trade does come forward. The smoke's though deployed at the right time. Means it's going to be so much more difficult for Inns to make this hero OK work out. There is a flank coming out from Sicko though, and he's going to pick off Gyro. That's going to make us still a little bit more nervous as he's been spotted out, but he's still dancing around the column quite well. Not well enough though. Not light enough on his toes, but the double flank coming forward. Surely they're not going to expect a double flank. Sicko though looks like he's aware of the danger, but he won't check. He does shoulder peek it.
The
and
flash
all
as
it down.
well.
He's able to cross into safety, and now it's up to Valiance to make this utility work. He's going to be crab walking up, and what a shot coming out from Young Val.
Nicely done.
Winning the one-on-one, but once again, these rounds just come down to the final one-on-one clutches, and you have to concede. So for both sides, Renegades, they're definitely getting lucky on their side when they're on the CT side. Now Order, a bit of karma coming their way as well.
Yeah, their money's cooked, Kev. Like Valiant, he can either drop 2 rifles to Ali and Justillo, or he can drop an AWP. He's going to go for the AWP, so Justillo's got to go down to an MP9. Renegades really cooking the money of Order here. So this could be a reset round for Renegades to put themselves up to 12, 13 rounds. Both teams a little bit cooked on terms of the money. But Renegades with just a little bit more of that loss bonus, and they're on the T side as well, which is a little bit more forgiving.
No.
Just lines up the shot, clicks straight through the smoke. That's the AWP taken out of the equation. A very heavy investment from Order. You can see Justillo runs over. He picks that up. There should be a contest towards ramp trades back and forth.
Oh, Jara having a bit of a kiss right now. And once again, it's just Valiance who just locks down the A site. Renegades, they try to push through the smoke and ins. He's going to flash himself. That's what I like to see from Order. The young guns stepping up right now. Valiance with 3, Jara with 2 as well. I can count to 5, but Renegades, they're trying to find 16, and they're stumbling.
Even after that initial pick, I feel like that almost kind of baits them into going in so quickly up ramp through that smoke. And Order definitely with a couple more players than usual over there. Justillo, as well as Valiance and Jara, all over there so quickly. A very, very big setup towards that ramp area. Order really looking to dominate and control that part of the map, just leaving Ricky on the other side of the map playing retake B in middle. A lot of clicking in the chat. Pause, clicking in the chat, then the unpause.
Might just be a case of microphone not working. Is it working now? Yep. You didn't plug it in, did you? Yeah.
Did you check the mute button?
As always, a classic. My mic's not working. You've literally put your mic on mute, mate. That's why it's not working. Oh, I'm a Counter-Strike player. Not good with technology.
Life of an admin, Kev. Tell us about it. What's your best admin story as we in this? Well, look, to be honest, actually, the Eagles should probably take it a bit more seriously, and the boost in towards middle 100%. As well.
Oh, this is all coming down to timing at the moment between Justillo and Jara, but I feel like Jara, he's definitely been picking up some nice form. And that is a nice cleanup. So now we can go a bit more to the stories. Maybe there's a couple of eco damage that can still be done by Renegades, but I don't think so. A little bit too spread out right now.
Yeah, what's your best admin story of player incompetence with technology, Kev?
I had a guy complain about not having enough frames, and he was playing at 2K resolution on an i5 PC. So I don't know about you. i5s are great, don't get me wrong. You have enough processing power just to get enough done, but playing at 2K for CSGO, yeah, and then going, I don't have enough frames.
Look, I play 960 stretched, and I still struggle with frames from time to time.
What from that?
That's just one of those classics where you're just tapping D and A and free-firing, and he gets 2 kills out of it. They shouldn't be allowed to take 2 guns off Order there. They're just a bit too sloppy on the aim.
But the scoreline's tied apiece, which is a good thing. 11-all right now, and Order. That's 4 rounds in a trot, and Renegades definitely being tested right now.
I would agree. And I would say a big reason for some of those tests is Valiance. This man has had some very critical impact frags this last couple of rounds, really leading from the front from Order. Yes, they're doing it by committee. This game, definitely a very even scoreline across the board from both teams, I would say. But if you're talking about impact, definitely been Valiance. I feel like that's, you know, we do just pause again. Pause for 5 seconds, clicks in the chat, then back into the action. Double AWP this time from Order, so that might be a bit of a different look. And no AWP invested in from Renegades. Ricky's going to take the AWP over towards the stairs here. It's going to be aggressive as well.
Alistair also looking to challenge scaffolding as well. Dexter goes down nice and early to Jara, and you can see Order definitely in the prime position at the moment. Got a game plan, they're sticking to it.
Yeah, don't want to be losing this man advantage that they have though. I'm keeping an eye on Hats. He's just creeping up, sneaky like into this position behind the smoke. Sicko's basically just baiting for him. He's not committing, and there it is. Hats almost gets 2, but Sicko in position to trade. Now they have control of this ramp area, but they're not rushing into anything, Kev. You're seeing Malta move through mid with Sicko. with ins rather.
I think this is the correct decision, but this all comes down to Gyro at the moment, trying to find the mid-round timing. Molts at those spots to the shoulder, and now Ricky pushing forward. He has to isolate the angles. And you can see, similarly, Renegades looking to decide where they want to go right now. Got all this control of CT, all this control of mid, but they still need to go back and get the package. And it's still a spoken Incendiary Grenade to play with, but Malta might be able to get the timing right now.
I think Ustillo and Ricky very much just trying to play in corners, put their backs to the wall and cut down the angles that they have to deal with. But now Ustillo, under a little bit more pressure, starts to get a bit more aggressive.
He might be able to get away with it at this stage. You can see Malta just slowly clearing the angles right now. He's thinking, could he dance the maze? Could he push forward? But Ustillo's going to be caught out in the open. Can't get the timing.
And it's interesting because it does look a little silly for Ustillo. He's pushing out in the open there because Ricky has full info that no one's towards stairs. But actually, it makes sense, you know? He's not... Very rarely is he going to push... Is he going to sit in his spot when Renegades have utility and there's 3 of them coming at him and he's going to effectively be able to win that. But if he pushes forward and tries to isolate a couple different duels, moves on different angles, that's where he can actually try to 1-on-3 on that site, and especially over towards that ramp. There's so many weird angles where if you get a certain timing or a certain fight onto the tees when you're aggressive on that CT side, you can actually win a couple of duels that are going to be a lot harder to win if you're stationary and sitting in a position where, look, eventually, exactly like that, you can be flanked. There's a couple different angles you have to deal with. It's going to be a little bit harder to complete that 1-on-3 in theory.
Well, Renegades, 1 round, still money in the bank for Order to play with. Sure, it's not the best, but they've got an AWP. Gyro's got 8 and almost 9k. That's 2 rifles that can be dropped over, and you can utilize the MP9s to great effect. And in all honesty, that round, once again, doesn't really boast me, or doesn't give me the full confidence in Renegades. And Order, they're going to take a tactical timeout here just to decide what the situation is going to be. Once again, just such an equal scoreboard.
Yeah, and an equal game. Very, very back and forth. And that's what you'd expect for Renegades and Order. Last couple times these guys play, I think the story of it really tends to be that there tends to be close maps, but Renegades usually wins them. And then there's some more one-sided maps that Renegades wins as well. So Order, I think if they're going to keep it close here, I would really like to see them close out Vertigo. I think they've got a bit of a scuff by here. Some limited utility on some of these players. Gyro on MP9. Look, he's been making it work. Double AWPs again. Didn't work out for Order last time. Let's see if they can do a little better.
Balance has got a lot of damage nice and early on. It's definitely not good to start right now. But good HNA coming out from Valiance, I believe it is. Flinging it nice and deep.
There's no one on the B site for Order at all. Very much a big emphasis towards this ramp control. Now the smoke starts to fade. Alistair's actually fallen back off the angle. They're leaving Valiance there out on an island on a bit of an off angle. Actually, Gyro's close left. So these 2 together need to be able to deal with these 3.
They're not, though. That's the whole thing. They're taking so much damage, and Valiance is still on the off angle as well.
How diligent will Renegades be in checking this?
And we've seen Dexter sit here before. That's going to be the real question right now.
Ricky's edging over here as well. He's going to chuck out a flashbang.
Oh, our Valiance needs to land that spray. And Sicko is going to find the right angle at the right time. So once again, down to this 2-on-2. Really just down for Ricky just to hold on right now. He's going to separate and isolate the angles. We've seen this before from the AWP up. He's actually going to fall back, actually.
Difficulty is that Sicko and Dexter always play so well off of each other. You can see Dexter's already flashing Sicko onto that secret line. Now puts down the Molotov onto that more common position. Bit of a boost here. This off angle for Ustillo could work here, Kev.
It is definitely going to work, and it's going to force it down to just a 1-on-1 for now. Sicko is going to relocate and reposition himself. Obviously, the package, the bomb is going to be planted for him at the moment. It's all going to come down to these individual deals. Ustillo is going to tap it once. No peek coming out from Secret, and that allows Sicko to push even further forward. Ustillo knows what's going on, but you just can't out-aim Sicko at that stage. And that, I know we make memes out of critical rounds, but that is a huge round coming out from Sicko.
Oh, definitely. Him and Dexter, man, if I'm versing those two guys in the 2-on-2, I'm feeling pretty sad, especially if they have a couple flashes and some utility to work with. Because you can see, it was basically like a two-man execute, Kev. Double smokes across the back of the site for Renegades. You had the Molotov flying out onto that common position, the flashbang to put Sicko on that line towards Secret. Yeah, they really couldn't have played it much better than that, to be honest. Now they've put Order on that eco. They're going to be moving up to 14-11, really starting to put the pressure on. This is why Renegades is just such a dominant team in these critical clutch rounds, XVX situations. They're so consistent at coming out ahead. Well, this is the same anti-eco I've seen for Renegades many times, and many other teams for that fact. Just slow progression up the ramp, progressive utility, flashes behind. Very hard to be able to win that round as a CT if you haven't gone for that aggressive ramp control. Renegades, yet another very clean anti-eco employing that same strategy. So Order, next round, it's going to be backs against the wall for them. They're going to be on the comeback train on the CT side, which is always a bit of a difficult position, because if you're having these close rounds like we've seen in this game time and time again, it's quite hard to repurchase when you don't have any money in the bank account after winning a round. It comes down to a 1v1 or a 2-on-2. You've got like 3.5k in the bank, whereas Renegades, take a look at their money heading into this next round. If they have 5 alive here, I don't even know why they're dueling this P250, to be honest, but if they have 5 alive heading into this one, look at that cash.
I mean, it's not the best. Let's be real. I mean,
It's pretty good. It's better than Order.
I mean, you're
they
not
have
wrong
that
there.
extra round to be contesting with. Maybe they have to take 1 save, but at that point, the loss bonus is built up. You know, that's the difference. Renegades have bought themselves the room to make a mistake that they probably won't even make at the end of the day. Whereas Order, no room to work with, no room for error. It's like I said earlier, I feel like just, particularly that first half, it's been a little better this half for Order, I would say, but particularly that first half, they're making more mistakes than Renegades are, and that's the difference. The XVX situations, couple extra mistakes being made by Order. It's another close game of Vertigo between these two teams.
Yep, and it's all going to come down to this round. I got a feeling if Order are able to take this, yes, you're saying Renegades do have cash, but Order, they have to get aggressive on the back of this, I would say, as well. There's just not enough utility to kind of play defensive.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you're a bit more pigeonholed into it, a more aggressive strat if you're Order here. And they've already been playing a little bit more aggressive in the first place, Kev. So, again, it's this 2-man push towards ramp. Actually, they're going for a boost towards Secret, yeah. A bit of the off-angle boost. And again, you're looking at Ricky. Balls of Steel, this guy. He's no utility, playing on his own towards B ramp. And the rest of Order very much set up, retake middle, heavily towards this A side of the map. So this is the kind of stack that you have to go for when you don't have those orbs, you don't have the utility to be able to play into the late round. You have to take a risk somewhere. You have to cut a corner. Ricky's just even given up B now. You see Yusilo over towards that A side of the map. The longer this round runs out, it seems like Order want to try and contest ramp as soon as the initial contact comes in, so they need to trade favorably here.
Gonna have to wait for the flashbang timing, really, at the end of the day. A double HE and 8 stack. Now the flashbangs to push forward, but Dexter, as well as Hat's, able to just nullify the first push of this A site. They've spotted out the bomb, but you can see Dexter definitely picking up the pace now with Sicko. Alistair gonna be deploying that smoke in front of Secret. It's really gonna just come down to timing at the stage. Molotov's gonna just flush Alistair out of this position. They're just gonna back away, but Sicko on this angle. Surely you don't play this as Alistair, but Sicko misses the shot. Brings it back down to the 3-on-3. Now the Molotov, time's ticking away. They have to push in. They have to get aggressive. And Alistair's just staying alive. He's being an absolute nuisance right now.
The flank, Ricky's on the flank coming in. He's going to try and dart back behind the smoke. Alistair buy time for this flank to come in. Jara even committing around through Secret, finds the timing.
But Moltz, he's going to step up and get the double kill. And now, is he going to be suspecting the flank right now from Ricky? He is. And Moltz, he can't land this shot. But Dexter, thinking about what he needs to do. He's going to back away from now. He's thinking about getting aggressive. But Ricky is going to be coming up through that secret side, through that scaffolding.
No kit for Ricky. Not sure they were able to afford one this round. He's going to go to the AWP now.
Oh no, and Dexter is going to just jump up and find the perfect timing as well. Time was just ticking away. And I feel like that is the round that Renegades definitely needed just to secure a more comfortable margin as they're going to post up map point.
And you can see Renegades, I mean...
Oh, what?
That's ridiculous. Gyro definitely could have made something happen there, but again, another clutch play from Renegades. The way that that round panned out, though, you were saying it right from the start of the round. Order, a bit more limited utility, pigeonholed into going for a bit more of an aggressive strat. But the problem is that, in general, they've been more aggressive towards that ramp position right from the get-go. So Renegades, they throw a little bit of utility, they start to progress up ramp, but they're still in quite deeply entrenched positions. They're waiting for aggression to come out, and when it does, they punish it quite well. I'm not saying Order, they didn't have their chances in that round. There was a couple of timings where maybe if they connect an extra shot or things go a little better for them, they might have been able to come away with that. But it seemed like Renegades, well aware that that was a bit more of a scuff buy. There probably wasn't going to be an AWP, and already you've seen the trend of the aggression towards ramp there for Order. So Renegades, they weren't rushing things at all, taking their time, methodically working their way through scaffolding up ramp, and they get that round done in the 1-on-1. Very, very close, but that's Renegades, man. Every clutch goes their way.
I wouldn't say every single clutch this game, but Order have definitely made it a good contest at the very least. And if they're able to bring this form on Dust too, then we are in for a great series indeed. But still, it's not over just yet. We're talking like Renegades have won. They still have to navigate through Order in this round.
Again, it's this aggression towards the ramp. More forward setup in towards scaffold this time. Progressive. Smoke's heading down in that direction. Renegades now pushing up towards stairs here. Ricky on a bit of an off angle. I think Malta just pulling the flash, trying to bait the peek from Ricky, because Sicko was holding that angle. It's pretty clever from Renegades.
So many different mind games that are going on right now from Renegades. Just even the small sound cues. Bit of utility being dropped over at the B site as well. Mid, should I say. Ricky pushing forward through the edge of the smoke, but you can see Malta has him kind of squared up, but he gives away the angle just as Ricky is pushing forward. Order, they've got the better of timing this time around.
Yeah, they just need to buy time. They shouldn't overcommit here, just confirming that there's a push over towards this side. It's a decent setup for Order, but they don't have the greatest of weaponry, and Ricky dies on the flank there, actually. They're getting punished for every push, Kev.
And are they going to suspect this Sandbags player is still out? Just lurking and waiting. All the members over here in the A site for now. It's all going to boil down to these duels. Maltz is going to be taken off. That's going to allow the push forward. Now it's going to be Pistols running absolutely havoc at this stage. As Sicko is going to be sliced and diced and ins. He just cannot stand and fight. Order have managed to bail themselves out of a poor situation. They gamble and they come out on top. Renegades, they still have cash, but Order, that's a lifeline they desperately needed.
How do they do it, Kev? That was a 3-on-5. Man. Either way, like you said, Renegades still with a little bit of cash in the bank. Can't afford full utility on all of their players this time around if they do invest in the buy.
Tech pause at this time? Come on.
They're doing it all game. I want to know what the problem is. Gonna have to hit up our resident admin genius, Mr. Turtle.
Go on, Turtle. Fix the match. He's already fixed it. There you are.
All right, well, here's the buy-in for Renegades.
But here's the thing, is that Order, if they're able to grab this one, the money is broken for Renegades. We could be seeing an overtime on Vertigo.
It will, yeah, it will be broken. Not completely. It'll be like a single save. They'll probably still be able to upgrade some pistols if they want and go into a decent buy in the next. So it's not done here for Order. They win this round, they create opportunity to win one more gun round to push it to OT, essentially, is what we're looking at.
But this is a bit of a difference now that Hats has actually got a lot of control over this A side. This is actually going to allow Renegades to float over to the B side of things. They might try to get a bit of timing. Hats has taken a little bit of damage, but this is just all a decoy.
Yeah, it's all up to Gyro and Ricky in combination. Their utility usage has to be on point here. The boost from Ins is a little bit of an off angle that Ricky might not be ready for here. The Molotov progressed forward to try to catch Ricky off a little bit out of position. Now Gyro starting to trend forward towards this site.
Flashbang's not going to clear out Ins though. And out comes the Molotovs. Ricky gets the timing at least on one, but Gyro trying to play close, trying to nullify that disadvantage with the A4. Smoke's going to come out and he's going to have to bail away. Wasn't spotted. Nice little bunch of HE grenades as well. As Sicko is going to be able to get the plant safely down for now.
Alistair's got this one critical flash. That's a great pick from Jira. If Alistair times this flash correctly, the riflers go in. This could be a round win for Order.
Saw Relic just coming down right now. Oh, Jira gets picked off as the smoke fades and Inns pushed forward. He wants to win this right now. All down to a 2-on-2. Alistair is going to switch out to the rifle. They've got a smoke and flashbang to play with. Hats on the corner. But Alistair, he can't get the shot onto Hats at the end of the day. And Astillo is just going to tap and stick the bomb. And Hats is going to push forward. He's going to be taken down. Order have plenty of time to get the defuse as well. As Order, another round, another lifeline. And another chance to bring Vertigo back into their favor. It's dizzying right now, but Renegades, they're still fighting.
Stillo's been so good. So many clutch rounds won by the man. Insane. That Deagle round earlier, and then in that last force buy with backs against the wall, he delivers. Again, another critical one-on-one. There's no doubt they were missing this man because he's making some massive plays to keep Order in this map here. Now Renegades, after that bomb plan in particular, can't count them out here. Still enough to be able to invest in pistol armor. Alistair needs to be careful he doesn't get timing here by Hatz's quick pace up the ramp, but he does get away safely. Order's money's still cooked here, Kev. So if they lose a couple of players to these pistols, actually heading into 15-15, their money will be in a bit of a state of flux. So many players over here towards Secret trying to hit this good timing.
The timing might have just been hit as well. They have to give up the angle. But Alistair with the AWP at this time. They're just going to play whack-a-mole right now. Alistair has to step up big. Oh, that's a great flick onto Hats. And Renegades, the rest of the members just not in the position really to trade out. That is a great round coming out from Alistair. A single missed shot, and that could have been all the difference.
Yeah, I think Renegades either cynically not really thinking that would work or trying to go for a little bit more damage with a couple of players towards the extremities. Deagle still could connect a couple of shots. Malta trying to flank around, find a good timing. And if Inns draws a little bit of aggro, a little bit of attention, it might be able to create some space for Malta to come in on that flank. But Ricky very much got it under control. Ooh, maybe not. But Alistair does. A 4K. Again, another player for Order steps up to make sure that Order can push it through to this critical round. This is the opportunity where they can push it into OT and keep themselves alive here on Vertigo. Should not have even got that close.
At the end of the day, if that's what they need for Order, just the individuals to get it into overtime, that's what they need. Another tech pause coming out in the final round of regulation. So banger of game to start off with, and all honestly, Mitch, we've picked a good one. Vertigo going all 30 rounds at this stage where Order's got enough cash to work with.
Yeah. I think their buys should be pretty good heading into this one. 3 1vx clutches so far. So big. So impactful.
Lobster stays alive. He's not roasted. Neither is Order for now.
Back into the action.
Final buy round that can come out from Renegades. I mean, money, once again, isn't looking that great for Order.
Oh, it's good enough. I would.
Jira's copped the sacrifice. He's gone, all right,
Yeah.
Astillo, here's the M4.
I actually was about to say that. I'm like, dude, Jira's actually been pretty sick on the MP9. That's the person I'm chucking an MP9 to here. And again, he's going to go aggressive over here towards this ramp side. Bunch of players over here for Order and a lot of Renegades players in this part of the map. The duel over here at ramp is going to be so critical to keep Order alive and push it into OT.
Early nades being exchanged. Alistair going to be posted on the angle for now. It's all going to come down to the shoulder peeking and the spots. Is the flashbang good enough? No, it isn't. And Jira is going to be cleared out on the back of the AKs. A lot of damage has been done, but Valiant, he's going to step up. He's going to get a lot of damage done, but unfortunately can't land that third kill.
Renegades doing what they do best, slowing things down in this XVX situation. They've got a minute on the clock. They're going to start to fall back from ramp, try to work the map a little bit more. It's a full retake setup on that A site. Alistair on 15 HP just sitting back towards the scaffold. In the meanwhile, it's aggression from Ricky. Ustillo a little bit further away. The timing does not go the way. The crosshair placement is too good from Dexter.
But Estillo can definitely turn it around right now. He's going to be able to drop that incendiary grenade on jump up. That's going to allow time for Alistair to rotate across. A great trade from Inns. Now all down to the one-on-one right now. Oh, but the timing works for Inns as Renegades. They will close map number 1. Got an absolute